Karamoja sub-region experiences higher temperatures and lower rainfall that affects food production and the quality of pasture for the animals. Now, Nabuin Zonal Agriculture and Research and Development Institute is piloting grass and hay for use during drought in Karamoja.
Grazing livestock in Karamoja is challenging to many pastoralists because it affects water access and green pasture. This motivates them to move from one place to another to feed their livestock. To address this challenge, Nabuin Zonal Agriculture Research and Development Institute is introducing growing of grass for hay production for use during drought.
The mandate of NARO is research, but the mandate of extension services lies with the Ministry of Agriculture, that is the Department of Extension. So we work very closely with the Department of Extension to ensure that the technology we have from the research institution goes to the people who should use them.
We want to avail farmers with the seed, Rhodes grass seed, so that they are able to grow this Rhodes grass on their farms, and then after that they can use the Rhodes grass to provide pasture for their livestock, both for grazing but also for preservation as hay.
Rhodes grass, commonly known as Croix Guyana, is one of the species grown at this institute for farmers' seed production. The technology has already been introduced in 12 districts of Karamoja and Teso regions.
When you mix the seed with fine sand, and then you drill after preparing the land finely, you drill lines, and then you get the seed mixed with fine sand, you spread it, and then you cover, very thin cover of the soil.
Dr. Paul Boma is the animal production scientist at Nabuinizadi. He says this new breed of pastures introduced among the livestock farmers is well researched on with enough nutritional value for the animal.
For the case of the naturally growing grasses, yes, we know that the animals have been eating this grass since time immemorial, but most of the grasses have not been researched on. We do not know the nutritive value, the nutrient content of these grasses. So the animal is relying on natural circumstances to try and eke out whichever nutrient it requires in the body. But for these grasses that we are growing ourselves, they have been researched on extensively. We know the dry matter content, we know all the other nutrients in them. That is why we zeroed down in order for us to provide a balanced diet, or a diet that possesses almost all the ingredients that the animal needs.
A senior animal technician at Nabuinizadi, Stephen Esapat, says the new livestock fodder increases milk and beef production.
When you have improved pastures like Rhodes grass that you use for preparation of hay, you can still use that hay for feeding animals during dry season. And this is exactly what you're seeing here. The animals are able to feed on the hay, and you are able to maintain the production of milk and beef throughout the year without many changes in the production of animals.
During the dry season, high quality hay is produced by cutting the pastures when half of the plants have flowered. Experts say drying should be done as quickly as possible to minimize losses, and usually takes 3 to 4 days for the hay to dry properly. The dried hay is baled using a box with a dimension of 90 centimeters length, 36 centimeters width, and 46 centimeters depth, and strings, as the technician explains.
We have tried our level best to teach them. We started last year. They have been able to come and buy hay from us at 9,000 a bale, and we are seeing them picking up. The other time they were buying, this time they are making the hay.
Hay can be kept for a longer period if properly made and correctly stored under a shelter with a dry foundation throughout the year. Since the country often experiences dry seasons, mainly in the cattle livestock can be fed on to sustain the herd through the drought.
We are involved ourselves in harvesting the grasses, both indigenous and now planted. When we harvest, we bale them, we store them in our hay rack. When the dry season intensifies, that's when we shall introduce our animals now to totally zero grazing them into one common place. We bring them there, get enough bales, expose them to eat, they'll eat. The only movement they'll make now is now going to our watering point, which is within the institute.
Experts also warn that hay is easily set on fire, so care must be taken in setting stockyards and storage so as to minimize the risks. Joseph Bule, UBC in Karamoja.